Have you started?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today we have Nishta Nishant with us. She is going to give us a wonderful talk. We must listen to her and share with many, many people.
So you're on mute. You're on mute. We are not able to hear you.
Okay, I'll start again. Today we have Nishta Nishant. She is going to give us a wonderful talk today, and it will be heard by many, many people around the globe. Nishtha is the acting CEO of Tweet Foundation, Mumbai. She has submitted PhD thesis and she's awaiting PhD Viva very soon. So she'll become Dr. Nishtha Nishant very soon. So Nishtha, please give us the talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Namaskar and good evening. My name is Nishtha Nishan. I go by the pronoun she or her. Uh, Currently, I'm the acting CEO at Tweet Foundation. And today I'm here to deliver a talk on all about tea. Before I begin the talk, I would want to thank the Microbiology Society and Dr. Swaranjit Singh for inviting me today on this particular platform to share about the transgender community. So, as you all have known about the transgender community, I want to highlight why the today's topic is all about tea. And I will do so while we will be taking you through a quick presentation. So as you can rightly see, I belong to Tweet Foundation. Tweet is basically Transgender Welfare, Equity and Empowerment Trust. Uh, this organization has been largely working on building empowered, self-sufficient and vibrant trans movement in India. So we've spoken about transgender person. So to begin with, let us understand who a transgender person is. A transgender person is a person who does not align their gender identity with their biological sex that is assigned. So now, looking at the screen, you may see the word transgender, and I have mentioned that it's an adjective. So an adjective is a qualities. Likewise, a person may have a particular quality that makes them a transgender person. Transgender word cannot be alone. It needs to be along with a noun. And so we are transgender persons. Biologically, I was assigned male at birth. And as I grew up, I started identifying myself as a woman. Since there was no match between my gender identity and my biological sex, I identified myself as a transgender woman. Likewise, there also exist transgender men who are biologically assigned female at birth, and their gender identity is that of a man. So they are called as transgender men or trans men. While I spoke about the transgender community, I would be happy to share that it is an umbrella under which there are several subgroups. Most commonly, we have heard about the Kinnars. We have heard about the Hijra community. We have heard about Ardhanari Nareshwar, Shiv Shaktis, Jokis, Jogappas, and much more. These are socio-cultural groups where trans persons are, accepted as they are. They are, living with a support system with whom they can relate with whom they can be as they are without the fear of being judged. They know that their gurus are going to take care of them. And as we in our schools or colleges have respected our teachers, our professors, these disciples, these chelas, worship or respect or support their gurus in whatever best way possible. While we'll talk a little more about them, I'm going to take you through this journey where a transgender person is often left behind. And why is that? So, to begin with, family acceptance. We do not get acceptance by our very own family members. We're often a subject to gender based violence. While family does not accept us, the society at large does not abide or, does not accept our identities. We are often questioned, we are often subject to discrimination, hatred, and much more. We are not included in education spaces, we are not included at workplaces. Even in public spaces, we struggle to be our very own true authentic self. While there are poor policies and less awareness amongst many folks in the society, we also lack medical healthcare support, and we are often, in a situation where we are struggling to get support, whether it is social, whether it is financial, whether it is mental, or whether it is health. We do not get the necessary support because we are often discriminated. We often do not have the necessary financial support. We do not have that confidence to stay strong emotionally. We often succumb to circumstances where we have to give up on our very own self because we are not recognized. In 2014, a NASA judgment very well mentioned that transgender is a self-identified gender. A person can identify themselves as they want without anybody, questioning them. However, a lot of us fail to understand who a transgender person is. We got tagged as third gender, we got tagged as Tritiya Panthi, and much more. But then a question that comes to my mind is then who is first and who is second? While we know the gender binaries of men and women exist, there exists transgender person who is also one of the identities, and there are many more. But let us begin with accepting this one particular gender and then accept the rest, is what we thought. So we at Tweet Foundation acknowledge that there are transgender persons in the society, but we see very less of them, who are visible, like me, who are very well seen in the society by many people who have gathered that strength, mustered that courage to be their true authentic self. But when the 2011 census took place, we got to know that just 0.5 million people were, counted, were considered. But our estimate is more than 5 million people because a lot of us do not find ourselves comfortable in a position to come out of the closet. हम बंद दरवाजे में बंद है, हम बंद अलमारी में बंद है, और हमें बाहर आना कंफर्टेबल नहीं लगता क्योंकि हमारे मन में वो डर है कि हमें जज किया जाएगा, हमें समझा नहीं जाएगा, हमें रिजेक्शन मिलेगा अपनों से, और जब हमें मान्यता नहीं रहेगी हमारे अपनों से, तब बाहरी दुनिया में क्या ही अपनाएगी. So a lot of us are still struggling with their identities, and we are trying to mold ourselves just as how our near and dear ones want us to be. And we are struggling, we are suffocating, and we want to come out of the closet. So that is going to take a longer time, and we realize that many of us, who identify themselves beyond the gender binaries, that is neither as a man or nor a woman, we often end up, dropping out from our schools because we look different, because our physical appearance or our behavioral patterns may be different than the stereotypical norms that we are, expected to behave like. We realize that many of us who are even out of their closets earn less than rupees 10,000 per month, and it was very surprising that despite of being qualified and despite of having the necessary skills, we are not given the opportunity to actually, work at levels where each one of us deserve to be. So we decided to see what best we could do. And while we were doing a survey, we got to know that more than 40% of the transgender persons attempt suicide at least once in their lifetime. And this is only because there is no acceptance from the society and from their very own families. Having said that, transgender person often look for support. And that is where Tweet Foundation plays a major role. So Transgender Welfare, Equity and Welfare Empowerment Trust is a trans-led organization working at a national level. Seven transgender persons came together in 2015 and thought that we need to address the needs of the community. We need to cater and support the transgender community who are often the subject of social stigma, discrimination, and much more. In 2017, we got registered, and we were pioneering and bringing together both trans men as well as trans women. Together, we are working towards overall socio-economic inclusion of the transgender community. And our mission has been to build an empowerment, some self-sufficient and vibrant trans movement in India by wholly caring for the welfare of transgender person, their education, medical treatment, legal standing, and social and cultural well-being. So here are the 7 members, who are on board with us at Tweet Foundation. I'm one of the board members as well as an acting CEO. We thought of, providing community support. We thought that, considering that we do not get more opportunities, capacity building is something that we can work on. And we can talk more about our community by doing advocacy work and creating more awareness. And so we realized that we need to work on several aspects, and one of that was capacity building. While we realize capacity building is very important, we acknowledge the fact that we are often asked to leave our homes. We are not given safe spaces to be our true authentic self. So we started a shelter home in Delhi called Asra. Asra was specifically for transgender men who face a lot of challenges, including domestic violence and abuse in their very own homes due to patriarchal reasons and much more. We decided to give them a safe space where they could be themselves. While COVID happened, we were in a proposal of discussing, shelter home as a project to the government, and successfully it got passed. 12 community-based organizations in the country got a grant to open Garima Griha, which is a shelter home for young trans persons. In Mumbai, Tweet Foundation got this grant where both trans men and trans women are able to live at peace, harmony, and with togetherness. We provide a nutritious meal, healthcare support, emotional support, social entitlements as well, and ensure that they are able to complete their education and get skilling opportunities to find better empowerment and employment opportunities. So far, we have supported 177 transgender persons, and there have been more than 3,000 queries that we have got from the transgender community members. So Garima Griha is a shelter home in Mumbai. There are 74 residents so far we have supported. 70% of them have found employment. 15% went back to their home. They were accepted as they were. 15% have, continued studying and other programs. Many of us are, continuing our education, which is one positive thing. And we are, able to get the necessary mental health counseling while we have been through a lot of emotional instability due to our past experiences. We are being taken care, we are given emotional support, we are given the nutritious food, our well-being is taken care of, we are being celebrated, and we have a sense of belongingness while we live together in this space. At Asra, we've had many, many crisis situations where community members were struggling to be themselves. We were, having parents coming in and attacking on our staff members because they did not want their children to be from the LGBTQI plus community or particularly the transgender community. We've supported 20 trans persons with their medical transitioning while they lived at Asra. There have been other issues also that we've been facing, and we've fought through together as a community. We've successfully been able to provide support in terms of skilling and career readiness to the transgender community members. We've collaborated with colleges here in Mumbai who are kind enough and generous to provide the infrastructural support as well as the training bit where the transgender community members went to the college. They got the first-hand experience of how it is to enter into academic institution. They got trained on spoken English, digital literacy, and much more. They found themselves prepared to find employment, and many of them even cracked interview rounds at a lot of corporates. So far, 200 plus people have been skilled, and 100 plus trans youth are supported on leadership. Coming to the skilling and placement programs, these are the programs that we've offered so far, and community mobilization is a challenge because a lot of times the experience that the community members have faced does not make them feel to come, to the mainstream or come in spaces where people from the mainstream society will see them, and there's a fear often within them as well, lack of confidence and much more that pushes them away. But we were fortunately able to gather these numbers to actually come and attend our skilling programs wherein they can get the necessary skills and find employment for themselves. So coming to the educational qualification, you see that a lot of us are, bachelors. We have got a master's degree. There are very few who could make it to PhD. If we see stream-wise, many of us want to get into arts because one of the reasons I would specifically share, coming from the scientific world, we are not accepted as we are. I myself have faced discrimination at the academic institute where I was studying, where I was one amongst the many cisgender persons or the so-called mainstream society. Because I identified myself different, I was humiliated, I was, insulted, and I was made feel completely worthless, and I was made to feel that I have nothing to add or contribute while I would work in that space. I was even considered as a faculty to join this particular space. However, my early transition days probably made the management feel very um, unsafe or insecure, and I was asked to leave the space, and that created a turbulence within me as well. While there was internal conflict that I was going through about my identity, there was an external conflict which was pushing me all the way more down to succumb into circumstances where I did not want to move ahead in my life, but I wanted to give up on my very own self. So all of us mostly experience these turmoils, but there are very few of us who could make through, and were able to get through all the challenges that we face while we are moving ahead to pursue our career, our long-term goals, and achieve them as we always dreamt of. So science was one area, where I felt that I could make the most and contribute. However, I got rejected. I got called by names. I was asked to quit on whatever I was doing. There was an extreme pressure which I could not really, manage to sustain, and I had to run away in the midst of my research tenure to ensure that I am safe, because I knew that only if I'm safe, I'll be able to create a difference, and that's what I was aiming at. So many of us move to arts, many of us move towards law because law is something that makes us feel that probably will help us bring in the change. And so we must get into something like advocacy work, something which really help us bring in the change that we want to see. So this is about the educational qualification. When asked about what we want to do, we got to know a lot of us have the desire of becoming an entrepreneur. A lot of us want to speak fluent English. A lot of us want to associate ourselves with social work. However, there were interests shown in doing something in technology, something that really is connected to science and much more. So when it comes to advocacy work, we are not only doing it at state-wise, but we are also doing at a national level and also at global level to ensure that we are creating enough impact about our work, our contribution to the community. We are creating a lot of awareness building campaigns, and I'm grateful that today at the Microbiology Society, Dr. Swaranjit has given me this opportunity to share about who we are and what we do. We've been doing a lot of corporate sensitization. We've been doing cultural promotion through art. So we have a wing called Dancing Queens, where members from the transgender community who are not really trained dancers, but who also have the desire to dance and showcase the world that our situation is so, and we really need your support to bring in a positive change. We've been involved in a lot of research and evidence-based activities where we can actually support the government to bring in the change that the transgender community has been waiting to see for a very long time in the country. So visibility wise, our transgender shelter home is something that is known to a lot of people. Our skilling and placement is something that is very popular in the current days because a lot of corporates want to collaborate with us through the corporate social responsibility and much more to ensure that they are creating equal and inclusive workplaces, which encourages other community members who are struggling within the environment to find themselves safe and be more productive. While visibility is in these two areas, there is less visibility in terms of awareness and building sensitization. Mental health support as a career as well. Helplines and crisis support is minimal. We are yet to reach a level where the police authorities, the government authorities are, at par with whatever support the community members require. Community strengthening and sustainability is also one of the challenge that community is trying very hard to work upon. And at the end, entitlement, support, and documentation. Many of us are thrown out of our houses. We do not have a basic documentation, whether it is qualification or even identity proofs. So we struggle to get recognition, and because we do not have that entitlement, we lack a lot of other benefits that we could avail with the help of the documents. So we're struggling with that bit as well. So what are the typical barriers that we are, actually facing? So one of it is incomplete education. Like I said, many of us are drop out before 12th grade and we succumb into too many unwanted things. We do not get the necessary educational documents. We lack skill set, work experience. We cannot communicate fluently in English language. हमारे पास काफी कम करियर ऑप्शंस होता है. आप अगर जानते हो तो काफी सारे ट्रांसजेंडर कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स मंगती या बधाई या शादी ब्याह के कार्यक्रमों में जाके अपना हाथ फैला के पैसों की मांग करते हैं, अपने अधिकारों की मांग करते हैं, क्योंकि हमें हमेशा मुख्य प्रवाह से दूर रखा गया है, हमें पेरिफेरी की तरफ धकेला गया है. हमारे साथ कितनी घृणा होती है. We have faced so much of hatred and discrimination that we often succumb to mental health challenges which remain unaddressed. It is now in today's time that we are talking about mental health support, but back in the previous days, a lot of us have succumbed to these mental health challenges, and we have lost our very own self. We struggle to find a safe space that we can call as home. हमें चाहे जॉब भी मिल जाए पर हमें घर कोई देता है नहीं. अगर आप जानते हो कुछ सालों पहले कोची मेट्रो में ट्रांसजेंडर सदस्यों को अपॉर्चुनिटी दी थी काम करने के लिए, पर जब उन्हें घर नहीं मिल रहा था रहने के लिए तब उन्हें वो जॉब भी छोड़ने पड़े. सो लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स वी हियर दैट आप जाके कुछ काम क्यों नहीं करते, पर हम काम करें भी तो कैसे अगर हमें काम कोई देगा भी नहीं. So what, as we individuals or organizations, we can do to support the transgender community is something that we really need to keep thinking. And just as our Dr. Swaranji today thought that we should get transgender member to come and talk to us, share about our lived experience. This is one of the initiative which actually is creating a bridge between the two ends, bridge between the mainstream society and the periphery, where the members of the transgender community are pushed away from. Some of the key things that we require are more sensitization work, whether it is in academic institutes, whether it is at the societal level, in industries, and so on. We need more of on-the-job trainings. We have people who are qualified. We have people who are capable enough to contribute and support a lot of organizations. All we need to do is create a paid internship for them so that they can earn for their livelihood, at the same time support in getting trained and then further get absorbed as employees in their spaces. We need empathetic management. What so far we've been doing is we've been very sympathetic. हमें दया नहीं चाहिए, हमें किसी की sympathy नहीं चाहिए, हमें empathy चाहिए. We need to be considerate towards the transgender community members who want to be a part of the so-called mainstream society. We need to extend our hands. We need to support. We need to uplift and empowerment the members so that they can be part of our mainstream society. We need to be more aware. Allyship के बारे में बात करना चाहती हूँ. Allyship basically वो होती है जो हम आसानी से अपने दोस्तों की तरफ, अपने घर वालों की तरफ दिखाते हैं. It is nothing but providing the necessary support to your near and dear ones. Likewise, member of the LGBTQI plus community also deserve allies in their life. आज मैं अगर इस मुकाम तक पहुंची हूँ तो शायद मैं कहती हूँ कि मेरे allies का इसमें बहुत बड़ा हाथ है। मेरी माँ और मेरा भाई मेरे साथ रहे हैं हर वक्त, उन्होंने मुझे सपोर्ट किया है, इसीलिए मैं आज इस मुकाम तक पहुंच चुकी हूँ। और सिर्फ उनके सपोर्ट से मैं ये नहीं बताना चाहती कि वो मेरे साथ रहते हैं, पर वो मेरे बारे में बात करते हैं खुल के, वो लोगों को बताते हैं, मेरे बारे में जानकारी देते हैं। जब लोगों को पता चलता है कि हमने जैसे सोचा है वैसे नहीं है, पर उससे भी बेहतर है, तो शायद वो लोगों का नजरिया देखने का बदल जाए और हमारी तरफ जो मान्यता है वो बढ़ती जाएगी। तो दिस इज व्हाट एन ally एक्चुअली डज. Ally is a supporter of the LGBTQI plus community. We need to do more investment in the community because we see that there is a large talent pool that is being ignored. There is much more that the transgender community can offer to the mainstream society, and we can together live in peace and harmony than the otherwise. Um, just wanted to share a quick one. Why we believe people should invest in us is we have experienced and passionate team. We have youth who is futuristic, and we really believe that we can do something in terms of focus on empowerment. And we are also working on systemic changes at different levels. So here are some of the advisory members who have believed in us and have faith in the work that we've been doing. Here are some of the corporates who've been partnering with us and ensuring that we are able to drive a successful change. So we thank each one of us, who have supported so far in our initiatives, our programs, but we also need more support in terms of driving change. Currently, the shelter home that we are running was supported by government. Unfortunately, for the past 1.5 years, the funds from the government have stopped coming. We have given shelter to nearly, a batch of 20 trans persons at a time, and to support them with their food, with their medical requirements, with their skilling, it requires a huge amount. However, due to lack of funds, there are many Garima Grihas that are now shutting down. And with this indication of shutting down, probably the community members will lose hope, and there will be more, rise in suicidal rates and so on. We need support in terms of capacity building, both at an organization level as well as the community level, because we are a translate community. We may not have the necessary skills to actually ensure that things go smoothly as that in the corporate, but we need training, we need support wherein somebody can help us get trained on these aspects and ensure that we also are at par to drive change as leaders and build in a stronger support for the community. Mental health support, we all know that mental health support is very expensive. However, for the community members, it is challenging, especially for youth who do not have job opportunities, who do not have enough money for their own livelihood. In such a case, we seek support for mental health and well-being as well. Here are some of the beneficiaries, some of the community members who have experienced services from the Tweet Foundation. I'm very happy to share in the picture we have Pramila. Pramila is one of our residents who has been a part of our overall services. While Pramila came from Haryana, she belonged to the Hijra community, and she studied till class 8. They were very afraid when they came in the beginning, whether I will be accepted as I am, whether I will get opportunities. Everybody gets exposed to different skilling program, but Pramila at some point felt that she will not be able to, manage completing her programs. However, the other residents supported her. She would sit through nights, study, and ensure that she reaches the level where she can crack interviews. Pramila was one of our beneficiaries from the Spoken English and Digital Literacy program also, and managed to complete the interview rounds at one of the popular production house, and currently has been working for nearly 10 months. Last month, Pramila got awarded as the best employee at their workplace, and we were so proud that Pramila doesn't stop there. They want to study more. They want to complete their class 10th. They want to complete their graduation as well. and achieve higher career goals at the same time, find herself a better livelihood and you know a beautiful life. Likewise, there are many others who have shared their experiences with Tweet Foundation. It is worth knowing that we are able to create a positive impact on the community members. Before I say thank you, I want to quickly share that I studied MSc by research. The program was integrated with PhD. I really want to study more, and I will never give up on my education. I'm sorry, I'm correcting. I've submitted my MSc by research thesis, and I want to continue the work, extend it further, and complete my PhD as well. It's just that there are too many challenges which are coming into picture, which is creating an obstacle and hindrance from me to reach the level where I want to be. My area of interest is phytochemistry. I did phytochemical analysis of various parts of two botanical plants, which I think when least explored, it gave me an opportunity to do a complete phytochemical profile using chromatographic and spectroscopic methods. I was able to assess the biological activity using various assays. And one of the assays that I actually found was interesting and innovative was bioautography, wherein on a thin layer support, we subjected to the microbiological media inoculated with the culture and check for the biological activity of the active but ingredient from the botanical materials. I was able to find a particular compound which was biologically active, which was actually inhibiting, the growth of certain microorganisms. Um, while we thought that we will be able to elucidate the structure, we realized that due to synergistic effect, multiple compounds which are present in minor quantities were able to give the desired activity, whereas as individual compound, it was very challenging because botanical materials are complex in nature, and to get larger amounts was one such challenge. However, with whatever findings we got, we presented the work at several national and international conferences. While I was struggling with my identity crisis, and a lot of the work was done with my dead identity. For a transgender person, it also creates a huge impact on their mental health to associate back again with the past identity, because every now and then with your scientific work, your name comes in. People are still not to the level where they ask us what is your preferred name or how may I call you? What is your pronoun that I can address with you? So when I think of going back to the academic institute or to the research institute, there's a lot of fear that is associated within me. And even today, I have to prepare myself a lot before going there because there is some or the other person who misgenders, some or the other person who drags us back to the past and makes us, you know, feel or experience all those difficulties that we have been through. So I was not able to actually present or rather publish any papers in this matter, but I always had a desire of doing so. But like I said, I struggled. I managed to get out of the research institute. I managed to go to a lot of schools, colleges, teach there. I got discriminated there. I was pushed to many corporates. Nobody was willing to give me a job opportunity. No matter how much talented or qualified I was often told that आपकी जेंडर आइडेंटिटी ना हमारे समझ नहीं आएगी, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स या हमारे एम्प्लॉयज हमें छोड़ के चले जाएंगे. With a very soft and sad heart, I would leave those spaces, and even in places where I got a job, I was told not to enter into the washrooms. My salary was kept on hold. काफी सारी चीजें हुई है जिसके कारण मेरे डिजायर्स, मेरे ड्रीम्स जो मैंने परस्यू करने थे वो मुझसे दूर चले गए. पर मैंने हार नहीं मानी है. मैं लड़ती रही, मैं झगड़ती रही, हर जगह जाके लोगों को अपने बारे में बताती हूँ. अभी भी काफी सारा काम करती हूँ. I was working with a genetic diagnostic center. I was fortunate that they acknowledged कि निष्ठा पढ़ी लिखी है, हमें उन्हें अपॉर्चुनिटी देनी चाहिए. So I was given an opportunity to work in the microarray department. I was appointed as a scientific assistant to begin with. Of course, I wouldn't forget that people were afraid of interacting with me. तो किसी को लगा कि मैं botanist हूँ और शायद मैं genetics में कुछ contribution नहीं दे सकती, तो मुझे काफी low level का काम दिया गया था. But then I had to again reach out to the management, tell them that मैं काफी पढ़ी लिखी हूँ और मैं काफी सारा काम कर सकती हूँ, मुझे बस मौका दे दीजिए. तो मैंने खुद मैनुअल्स निकाल के पढ़ के सारे एक्सपेरिमेंट्स ऐसे परफॉर्म करके I proved myself. I was promoted as a scientific officer further in the journey. I was, given an opportunity to go to the Center for Human Genetics for a training program in clinical cytogenetics. I was in Bangalore for 9 months, and I think I'm very privileged to be amongst the students of Father of Indian genetics, who were able to give me exposure through genetic counseling sessions, whether it was oncology or whether it was clinical cytogenetics. I was given that space and liberty to explore and learn and build in the future in this particular area. Further, I was given a responsibility to take charge of the lab training, learning, and development department at Lilac Insights. And towards the end of my journey in this organization, I was managing the operations bit of it. And currently, I've taken up this role of an acting CEO with Tweet Foundation because I think there's a lot of work that we really need to do for the community and empower more youth who can actually take up science and many other area of their interest and have that faith that we can create our future a brighter one and have bigger dreams. With this, I'm going to stop and I'm going to hand over to Dr. Swaranjit to continue the discussion further. Thank you.
You gave a excellent talk.
Thank you.
It was wonderful talk.
Thank
and
you.
I congratulate you that you are the first person, Nishant, to participate in MBSI program on trans women. So we are all very, very touched and happy with your talk.
Thank you.
I can see Dr. Patil with us. Dr. Patil, you can make some comment and ask something from Nishta. Please unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Your mic is, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's okay. My audible?
पाटिल साहब कुछ पूछिए इनसे, निष्ठा से.
नहीं, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
आ रही है.
So first of all, it's a great study. So come on our MBSI platform. वो सभी इसलिए है.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है हमें.
आवाज कम आ रही है.
आवाज
कम आ रही है.
बहुत दूर से आ रही है लेकिन.
अभी आ रही है.
आ रही है. आ रही है.
हाँ, वो कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ होगा.
हाँ.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, निष्ठा फ्रॉम MBSI माइक्रोबायोलॉजी सोसाइटी इंडिया, ए ग्रेट सैल्यूट टू यू. वो इसलिए कि इतने सारे एडवर्स कंडीशंस में आप की जो प्रगति है, आप जो कर रहे हैं, ये सभी साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी के लिए एक आदर्श है. जब स्वरणजीत साहब से कल मेरी बात हो रही थी, इन और माइक्रोबायोलॉजी सोसाइटी वी गिव डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ अवार्ड्स. तो लास्ट टाइम से हम लोगों ने ये सोचे है कि सेपरेटली फॉर ट्रांसजेंडर हम लोग कुछ अवार्ड्स की प्रोविजन की है लास्ट टाइम से. तो जो लोगों का काम लाइक बेस्ट टीचर अवार्ड, यंग साइंटिस्ट अवार्ड, सीनियर साइंटिस्ट अवार्ड, सारे अवार्ड्स. लेकिन लास्ट टाइम ये हुआ कि मान लीजिए हम लोग बहुत सारे ट्रांसजेंडर्स तक पहुंच नहीं पाए जो हाईली एजुकेटेड है, लेकिन अभी ऐसा लग रहा है बिकॉज यू आर देयर, तो हमारे माइक्रोबायोलॉजी सोसाइटी को एक अच्छा सपोर्ट आपसे मिल जाएगा। डू यू हैव एनी डेटा ऑन हायर एजुकेशन कि भाई कितने लोग एमएससी या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन हुए हैं स्टेट वाइज, ताकि थोड़ा सा हमारे पास भी वो अगर डेटा हो तो वो एक अच्छा ये हो जाएगा, वो थोड़ा सा इंटरैक्टिव और बाकी थोड़ा सा एक सहयोग से ये बहुत सारी चीजें कुछ कर सकते हैं। ऐसा कुछ डेटा है?
सर बहुत सारे कम्युनिटी बेस्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होते हैं जो इस विषय में अपने अपने राज्यों में काम करते हैं, पर हम एक्यूरेट डेटा ला नहीं पाते क्योंकि हम में से लोग खुल के बाहर अपने बारे में बताना नहीं चाहते, डर लगता है क्योंकि हमारे जॉब चले जाएंगे। तो काफी सारे लोग क्लोजेट के अंदर हैं। जैसे मैंने बताया शुरुआत में, मैं हैंडफुल हाथ की उंगलियों जितने गिन सकते हैं उतने ट्रांसजेंडर व्यक्तियों में से एक हूँ जो एक्चुअली खुल के हमारे बारे में बात कर रहे हैं और गर्व महसूस करते हैं कि हम साइंस से बिलोंग करते हैं, हम स्टेम में कुछ कंट्रीब्यूशन दे पाए हैं, जो कुछ हमारे साथ हुआ है उसके बावजूद भी। तो डेटा एज सच विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट। डॉक्टर सरनजीत हैज बीन आस्किंग मी फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम कि आप प्लीज रेकमेंड करो, पर इट इज वेरी चैलेंजिंग टू यू नो पास ऑन द इंफॉर्मेशन बिकॉज कोई कंफर्टेबल नहीं महसूस करता अपने आप को आगे बताने के लिए। मैंने काफी कोशिश की थी कि लोगों से जुड़ूं, उनको पूछूं कि अगर आपको कुछ करना है साइंस में तो हम आपको सपोर्ट दे सकते हैं, पर लोगों को फील्ड चेंज करना है। आई नो ऑफ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु चेंज देयर फील्ड क्योंकि साइंटिफिक फ्रेटर्निटी हमें अपनाती नहीं, हमें मान्यता देती नहीं है। अभी भी हम डॉक्टर्स के पास जाते हैं तो डॉक्टर्स हमें यही बताते हैं कि आई हैव नॉट सीन अ ट्रांसजेंडर बॉडी। सो मेरी समझ में आता है कि उनको बताना है कि हमने इंटरसेक्स बॉडी नहीं देखी है। तो हमें आज जैसे हम बात कर रहे हैं, सेंसिटाइज कर रहे हैं, वैसे सेंसिटाइजेशन डॉक्टर्स को करना पड़ता है। उसमें हमारा 1.5-2 घंटा चला जाता है, उसके बाद फिर हमारे मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट होती है। तो वी हैव टू गो थ्रू लॉट ऑफ situations because of which community members are still not very open about their passion, their desires to continue their further education in science or having careers in science related.
But still,
लेकिन
Nishtha can try. If you
I
find
will
some
definitely
doctor, if you find
मेरा
some
कहने
scientist teacher or scientist, you let us know.
एग्जैक्टली राइट।
Yes.
नहीं, जैसा निष्ठा का आप का जो ट्वीट फाउंडेशन है इंडिया में और कई फाउंडेशंस हो गए, दे आर आल्सो वर्किंग फॉर ट्रांसजेंडर्स, तो उनके पास से थोड़ा सा कलेक्टिवली कुछ अगर डेटा मिलता है हायर एजुकेशन पर तो थोड़ा सा कलेक्ट करिए। और के लिए आज ही तो बिकॉज यू आर फ्रॉम मुंबई, तो जैसा पुणे म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन है, आज ही पेपर में एक बड़ी न्यूज आई है कि पुणे म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन में ट्रांसजेंडर्स के बहुत सारी वो पोस्ट अभी हम लोग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिस पर ये करेंगे करके, और दे हैव गॉट द परमिशन फ्रॉम दी उनको मंत्रालय से भी परमिशन मिली है, ऐसा आज के पेपर में है। तो थिंक लेकिन कैसा कि ये शुरुआत है, काफी समय लगेगा, और कैसा कि जो जनरल पब्लिक का जो ये है वो माइंडसेट अभी भी ये नहीं हुआ है, वो धीरे धीरे थोड़ा सा ये होगा। तो इन दैट वे यू टू जैसे बहुत सारी अभी रास्ता बहुत कठिन है, लेकिन ऐसा ये नहीं है कि नामुमकिन भी नहीं है। तो जैसा कि इतने आप जैसा अभी फाइटोकेमिस्ट्री में काम कर रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ थोड़ा सा उनको थोड़ा सा अच्छे से लिफ्ट अगर मिल जाए तो, एंड और माइक्रोबायोलॉजी सोसाइटी सौरनजीत सिंह साहब है, हम लोग हैं, तो जहाँ कहीं भी सोसाइटी के हम लोग माइक्रोबायोलॉजी सोसाइटी की जहाँ भी हेल्प लगती है, नहीं क्या सौरनजीत सिंह साहब, तो हम लोग बिल्कुल तैयार है।
बिल्कुल।
थैंक यू सो मच सर।
और थैंक यू टू सौरनजीत सिंह जी, क्योंकि आपने ऐसा जो कैसा कि ये रेगुलर बाकी सारे ये लेक्चर्स प्रोग्राम तो होते रहते हैं, लेकिन आज आपने जो इतने सारे एफर्ट्स लेके जो प्रोग्राम अरेंज किए हैं, ये really we are really very much thankful to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you,
will
thank
try.
you.
I will
Yeah,
try by और भी हमको trans person
जी,
मिले,
जी,
trans
जी,
मिले, कोई she मिले, he मिले, and
Right,
we will
right.
definitely have more and more programs. Definitely. So Nishta, thank you very much for the wonderful, amazing talk. You have
Thank
done
you.
very good work in science and technology, and that
Thank
too
you
in
so
fact
much.
chemistry. So as Dr. Patel is saying, we'll keep in touch with you. We'll call you again for a panel discussion.
Sure.
डॉक्टर
Sure.
साहब और किसी को और कुछ ये इंटरेक्शन करना चाहते हो तो कर सकते हैं. बाकी लोगों से हम लोगों ने कुछ ये नहीं किया है. और
Anybody
बाकी
want to ask any
Yes.
question or discussion? Anybody? No, they have already understood well. So if there is no more question, we can conclude now. Thank you, Dr. Patil, for coming and guiding us, and Nishta for the wonderful talk, and all the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.